Have you ever taken a boat out in Tampa Bay, looked down and seen the sand bed at the bottom? If you didn't know, the bay is pretty shallow. And if you've ever looked out onto Tampa Bay, you may have noticed cruise ships or large cargo ships passing through. And with ships that large, it's safe to say they probably can't travel in water that shallow. So how do they do it? Well, it's not an easy process and it requires skills that take years to learn and master. So about that, hey, it's Katie and welcome to another episode of So About That, where we take questions and find those answers. This week we're talking all about how large ships make it from the Gulf up into Tampa Bay, which is a journey that can take up to 40 miles. Tampa Bay is Florida's largest open water estuary, and Port Tampa Bay is Florida's largest port. That means every day, cruise and cargo ships bring billions of dollars of economic impact with them. And with 33 million tons of cargo coming through Tampa Bay every year, these ships are constantly moving through Tampa Bay's shallow waters. Let's first talk about those waters. This is the Tampa Bay Shipping Channel, and it's the lifeline of the region's ports. These channels must constantly be maintained, and it's pretty difficult. According to bay soundings, the bottom of the channel collects enough debris like sand and silt to fill Raymond James Stadium to the top 10 times. And that's every year. Periodically, the channel has to be dredged, and all that excess debris is barged to an offshore site. So it seems like a pretty simple process. Captains follow their maps, they navigate the shipping channels, and eventually they make it to port. Wrong. It's much more complicated than that. So complicated that there's actually a whole profession dedicated to making sure these ships make it safely to port. They're called the maritime pilots. If you thought your job was hard, wait till you hear about these pilots. And no, not like the pilots of a plane and not like the captain of a ship. When those large ships make their way into Tampa Bay, a pilot will meet them and climb aboard the ship using a good old-fashioned rope ladder. Then they will join the captain and guide the ship into port. So why do captains need a pilot? With advanced navigational technology, shouldn't they be able to use their maps to navigate through the shipping channel themselves? Well, nothing beats decades of knowledge of Tampa Bay, and that's why these maritime pilots are so important. Becoming a pilot is anything but easy. According to the Tampa Bay Pilots Association, the typical state pilot attends a maritime academy and upon graduation will receive a bachelor's degree and a U.S. Coast Guard license. Then they'll leave their family to work on ocean-going vessels for 10 to 12 years, working their way up. And even then, they aren't guaranteed a spot as a pilot. Potential pilots have to undergo a competitive exam, and after identifying the 5 highest scoring candidates, the Board of Pilot Commissioners will appoint one individual as the deputy harbor pilot. Then they'll undergo a couple more years of training and are reassessed to earn a state harbor pilot license. Candidates have said they've studied for at least 1,000 hours just to prepare for the exam. It's also a very dangerous job. Between 2006 and 2007, 4 pilots and a pilot boat operator were killed during transfers, that part where they climb onto the ship with the ladder. To put it simply, these pilots are experts at what they do. They have a vast knowledge of Tampa Bay, they can operate any vessel of any size, and they have to be able to communicate with and lead ship crews from all over the world. Do you have any questions about the Tampa Bay area, or maybe just why things are the way they are? Well, I want to hear from you, so send over those questions. You can email me at mjones@10tampabay.com, or you can find me on Twitter at KatieJonesTV. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment below, and hit that subscribe button because we have new episodes dropping every week from this series, our Welcome to Florida series, and Jenna's investigative series, What's Brewin', all here on The Deeper Dive.